Hello everyone, this is Taduh. I'm making this video to show you just how fun a power armor melee can be. This build is all about fun gameplay and not necessarily doing the most damage possible. I started this character with 10 strength, 10 endurance, and 4 perception. In hindsight, I should have put those last 3 points instead of perception into intelligence. Just a single caveat though, if you are looking to one-hit everything in the wasteland, this is not the build you want. You want to be a stealthy sniper. But that's not what we're doing here today, so without further ado, let's look at the armor first. The first thing you will notice is the military paint job on every piece of armor. Having every piece of armor with that paint job adds 1 to strength. 1 strength equals 10% melee damage. For the arm upgrades, there's no other option that would be useful here other than the optimized bracers. Having both arms with these optimized bracers takes your power attack from costing 36 action points to only 14. For the chest, I mainly use the motion-assisted servos, which add 2 strength and therefore 20% damage, but the only other option is the Jetpack, but it's extremely wasteful. Possibly the most important upgrade of this build are the legs. The combination of the optimized and overdriven leg upgrades really increase sprint speed in power armor, which is essential when it comes to the Pain Train perk, and you'll see a lot of that here. The helmet was a personal choice of mine, and I felt it fit the character. He was born with 1 intelligence, right? He needs special assistance when it comes to targeting. When you're running through the wasteland at night, a sleeping Deathclaw looks just like a pile of rocks. With this helmet modification, you won't mistake any enemy for something else. This helmet modification is the reason to raise your intelligence to 6 for the science perk. It actually serves dual purpose for this character. He needs some intelligence.
Could you say that like Dr. Frankenstein?
Ego, fetch me the brain.
I could blather on even more about why I chose what I did and the weapons that I use, but I'd rather let the gameplay speak for itself. It's addicting, it's fun, and I can't get enough of it. What you're mainly seeing is the skill called Pain Train. When you're sprinting in power armor, you knock enemies out of the way and do a substantial amount of damage to them. This skill is usually my starting point for combat, as you can tell. Often, right before I reach an enemy, I'll use a few drugs like Buff Out, Psycho, or Jet. Sometimes all 3. As you can see, the knockdown effect of Pain Train is well worth it, and very, very helpful.
Wait, what? You're going to...
You're gonna pay for that.
Don't think I won't hurt you.
I mean, technically, the corpse was defiled already.
I am not ashamed to admit how much I loved playing this character. In fact, I didn't do any quests until about level 50. I ran out into the wilderness and just explored locations, destroyed enemies, found good suits of power armor, and all the materials I needed. Once I finally made my way to the main quests, I destroyed them. I briefly mentioned jetpacks and that they're wasteful, but I'd like to elaborate on that. The jetpack is actually a logistical dream come true. It is a giggle-inducing romp with a melee character. When I say that it's wasteful, I mean of action points and fusion cores, two extremely important things for melee combat with power armor.
Okay.
Law and order has prevailed.
I did it! Yay! I did it! Whatever chest modification you choose, it's always a good idea to hit the enemy with Pain Train first. Not only does it act as a form of crowd control for your enemies, it also increases your damage when they ragdoll or are on the ground helpless. This might be redundant to some of you who know all the moves already, but for those who might not, here's a demonstration of each of the melee moves available in power armor. What you're seeing here is the light strike, which takes no action points to perform. This is a representation of the heavy strike with no movement keys being pressed. It's a downward slash that, if your enemy is on the ground, has a chance to instant kill. This is that same heavy strike while moving backwards. As you can see, it hits a full 360 degrees. The light and heavy strike look the same when running. They both take action points, and they seem to hit for the same amount. You'll see me use this attack very often because I'm always moving. As you can see, I try to blend my Pain Train with the running attack for a mid-air hit. There is a weapon-specific heavy strike that can be executed while standing near an enemy and pressing the heavy strike button.
What just happened?
I have way more fun with this character than I probably should. Whether I'm charging through ghouls like a freight train, or booting mole rats like footballs, it's always a good time. Again, if you want to one-hit everything at range, killing 6 enemies without them ever firing a shot back at you, you want to be a stealthy sniper. However, if you like to see bodies flying through the air as you charge through gleefully, then I suggest this build. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any questions, please leave them below. And no matter what you're doing, have a bloody fun day.